they were in it, and then they weren't. But then they were in it, and then the game ended, and they lost, and we're sad. Here's the CHGO White Sox postgame show. CHGO White Sox post-game show presented to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary with our friends over at Bet365. Sign up using code CHGO365. Bet $5, get $200 in bonus bets when you sign up. Hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribing to the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. And you also may notice that there's a big fundraiser button, I guess, underneath our show. You can see a green word that says fundraiser. We are helping out our friends over at Big Brothers, Big Sisters of America. We've been doing this all throughout September. The first week we were raising money. Second week we were like, hey, go sign up. It'd be a good idea for you to sign up. And then now we're back to raising money. So we'll tell you how to do that. We also will talk about, obviously, the game. Sox lose 8-7. We'll talk about Kyle Teel. We'll talk about Shane Smith. We'll talk about the Birmingham Barons' first playoff game tonight against the Chattanooga Lookouts. And then we'll talk about a very interesting quote from the White Sox international scouting director / one of the many special assistant general managers, Joey Christopoulos?
I believe that was what was on the resume.
Special.
Maybe he asked for it when he got hired.
Really close friend of
I don't doubt it.
David Keller. I'm Sean Anderson, by the way, the host of the CHGO White Sox podcast. We're coming to you live at Studio B of our CHGO offices in the West Loop of Chicago. That's my producer, Joey Christopoulos.
My job here tonight is just to remind people that we still have a home run race for the ages. Andrew Benintendi just tied Lenine Sosa at 20.
Oh, Lenine wasn't at 21?
For the team lead.
I thought there was already.
No, we're Knots, baby, at 20.
So we'll get into all of that. We also have Melissa hanging out with us. What a bummer ending to that game. Hey, honestly, the bottom of the 8th inning, I wasn't watching. It was 8-2, and I was in here with Joey doing heavily intensive research.
International research, actually.
Yeah, into a certain former White Sox. And then Joey's like, it's 8-7. Oh, my God. And then Benny, he updated me on the Benny homer. Then we find out about the wild pitch that scored the run with the single that also scored my draw. So a ton to get into. Before we get into that, think about your favorite athlete. Every single one of them had a coach, a mentor, or a family member who believed in them first. Someone who saw their potential and gave them the confidence to go for it. That's what Big Brothers, Big Sisters does every single day. They create those life-changing connections for kids in our community. For the entire month of September, we at CHGO are partnering with Big Brothers, Big Sisters of America to help fund their mission. Your donation ensures another child gets a mentor, a role model, or a champion in their corner. An Andrew Benintendi in their corner. Maybe that's a lot to promise. You can be that champion. Andrew Benintendi can be that champion. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can donate directly by hitting the donate button right on your screen. And if you're listening on the podcast, please head to bbbs.org/allcity. Let's ignite the potential of the next generation. And again, for our podcast listeners, that's bbbs.org/allcity. Thank you. And also, thank you for putting up with that ad read. Man, I fight for my life when I need to read off a script. But if the people over at Big Brothers Big Sisters do fabulous work, and you'll be able to help the community. And that, before we get into the game, is where we start. Because the 108 have done a wonderful job of building their community of Section 108 into a podcast, a merch line, and now a bobblehead where they're selling special event tickets that has them throwing out the first pitch of the game. So congratulations to those guys. I think we've had both Chirizi and Beef Loaf on the podcast. We haven't had My Sock Summer on the podcast. No.
Why not?
Because reasons.
What's the deal?
Many reasons.
How do we thaw the ice?
I don't think it's thawed the ice. I mean, I know him.
How do we?
It's
come on.
Beef.
Anyways, heat up the oven. Let's thaw the ice.
Definitely.
Let's get them on.
No, I had an idea for My Sock Summer, but it also involves him lugging over, I think, maybe 5 to 7, what's it called? Those containers called. The plastic containers. Like the locker box. Whatever.
I think you got it right. Plastic container.
Yeah, like the 5-gallon, it's got a lid, it locks. We'll figure it out. But
yeah, it's like a bin.
It's complicated. Anyways, congratulations to them. Very cool to see. And not only was it the entire section 108 and then even 109 next to it, Samuel Basayo hit a homer that bounced like kind of off the craft cage, then back off the back wall, and then down the stairs of the 108. So the 108 got a homer tonight. And then finally, the beer vendor at the top of the 108 had a pole with all their faces on it, and then also said a night from the 108 with a whole banner. So even the stadium went out for them. So great to see the White Sox embracing the fans. Shout out to the 108 for everything that they've done. Because, hey, if we're talking about communities and big brothers and big sisters of America, you probably don't want those three being your big brother. But, they're building community. So, I'm not going to make that joke. Donate to Big Brothers, Big Sisters of America. Hit the thumbs up button on the podcast, and we will talk about the game. Now, Shane Smith started for the White Sox, and it was a fantastic start for Shane Smith. He ends up going 4 1/3 innings pitched, 9 hits allowed, 6 earned runs, 1 walk, 7 Ks, but it really didn't break down for him until the, third inning, I guess, and then it got sloppy in the fifth for the Sox. But Shane started off great. Struck out Jackson Holliday, struck out Jackson, and then got Gunnar Henderson to ground out. Then he led off the second with a walk to Westberg, but then got 2 strikeouts of Beavers and Kauser. Then Mayo singled to left field, but then Basayo got out at second, so we're going to clean second for him. And you go to the top of the third, and I know Melissa mentioned that he looked so good, and then yikes. It's not great, obviously. The double that Jackson hits, it's a hanged curve. And then Henderson, who ends up kind of locking in on his fastball, hits one that's really just down the middle. I think what we're seeing is just a real lack of control from Shane. It really just, it was pitches just right over the middle that really killed him. Even in the Basayo homer, he gets up 0-2, and then it's a curveball that is just a little bit too middle. If he got it a little bit more in, closer to his knees, maybe he gets Basayo to swing over that, but that's still in his bat path. It's nothing that I'm going to, sound the alarms for Shane Smith. Now 6-8 on the year, which pitching for the White Sox, it's pretty good. To only have a 2-loss difference in your
Paul
win
Skeens
differential.
only has 10 wins. So let's all put
go.
the wins in perspective here.
And I think his ERA now after today is a little under 4, but it's like 3.9. It was 3.7 coming into the game. Now it's 4.06. But when you just think about what they did, they took a guy that never pitched in AAA, has had a ton of injuries, and now they are getting him pitching into deep September, or at least mid-September. It's the 16th. Mid-September. Although it's not, great results, you could still look on the bright side. I mean, 7 Ks to 1 walk. If he just has a little bit more bite on that curveball, if he just has a little bit more control of his four-seam fastball, I think that success does come. So I think it's just great to see him going out and throwing 88 pitches again. We are not seeing him hit a wall where he can't physically perform. He might not be able to control perfectly, but he at least can give them 4 innings. And, hey, if he was just a little bit better with that control, or if he was playing a worse team, maybe he gets to 9 strikeouts and doesn't give up that homer, and the final line looks a little bit better. Anyways, this is all to say.
Yeah,
I love Shane Smith.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the Orioles really have a talented lineup. It's not like the season's gone their way, but bad starts are gonna happen even to Shane Smith. Would you say though his only rough patch was really maybe that 2.5 week stretch before the All-Star break? Other than that, he's been incredibly consistent.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with a bad start here and there, but the rough patches have been really short, if at all, except for that maybe one stretch there before the All-Star break.
There's definitely been some ugly starts post All-Star break, but really, since they did give him that shutdown in Pittsburgh, that really seemed to do him well. And tonight, too, 11 whiffs on 43 swings, 19 called strikes, a called strike plus whiff percentage of 34%. If he was able to get just a couple of those curveballs a little bit out of the zone, I think he would have been more successful. Also, only 7 changeups tonight. He was really only throwing 4-seam fastballs. 53 of his pitches were 4-seam fastballs of the 88. 13 curveballs, 13 sinkers, only 7 changeups. I think he's just trying to get through the end of the year. And the fact that he could still get kind of 7 Ks and only give up 1 walk, I'd rather see him get competitive or be competitive than, Cannon, who's walking the yard and it's, 5 walks every time, or Burke where it's 5 walks every time. I'd rather see him just get the hell hit out of him. Overall, I'm still 2 thumbs up on Shane Smith. That's a Rule 5 pick that they're going to have on the team next year, likely going to be their opening day starter. But yeah, ugly game, even though Teel gives them the 2-0 lead out of the break. One guy we'll talk about here is Dean Kramer. Dean Kramer, 3 starts before tonight against the Chicago White Sox, 17 innings, a 1.04 career ERA. This guy has been a demon. In 2022, he made 1 start, 5 2/3, 7 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, no earned runs. 2023, 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 1 homer, no walks, 5 strikeouts. 2025, earlier this year, 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. And then tonight, I felt like our guy Kyle Teel was going to be able to deliver us from evil. 5 2/3 from Dean Kramer, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 4 Ks. So they kind of got there, right? That's the lowest amount of strikeouts he's had. It's the most amount of walks he's had. It's the most amount of earned runs he had. But he still gets the win. Like, why is this guy, the White Sox, absolute kryptonite? A guy that is, fine. He's had a good major league career. 1.5 WAR this year. He's around an average major league starter. His 6-year ERA plus 94, a little bit below a major league average starter. But you know what? He's able to prop that up with 4 career starts against the Chicago White Sox. If he doesn't have those 4 starts against the White Sox, that's probably a 90 ERA, and Dean Kramer's not even in Major League Baseball.
And to add to that, with a name like Dean Kramer, wasn't he in 4 seasons of Mad Men? What is with this guy? Renaissance man.
The hair does not give Mad Men. The hair gives, the hair gives Stockton, California, where he's from. Dean Kramer is hanging out in the surf shops. But yeah, I'm excited about Shane Smith. I hate the sight of Dean Kramer, and hopefully, Kyle Teel's first inning home run is a sign to come of the White Sox future success against Mr. Kramer. And you know what? He honestly kind of looks like Kramer. The hair is down because of the hat, but I feel like if you gave him maybe a fork, you put it in an electrical outlet, I think we might see what's Kramer's first name?
He doesn't have a first name. Oh, it's Cosmo.
Cosmo, yeah.
We learned that very later on in the show, right? It's one of the
Cosmo
secrets.
Kramer's bug. Anyways, let's get into later in the game where it kind of turns the White Sox way. Again, top of the 7th inning, it feels like this game is completely dead and gone. I saw Wikelman Gonzalez enter the game, and I'm like, oh, hey, maybe we get to talk about Wikelman Gonzalez. First batter, walks Westbrook. Second batter, Dylan Beaver hits a home run. Great, 8-2 Orioles. But then, in the bottom of the 8th, like I said, I'm in here doing research on former White Sox. Mydroth leads off the 8th with a walk. Then on a wild pitch, he advances to second. Then Teel grounds out to second. Mydroth goes to third, so runner on third. Colson strikes out swinging, so with a runner on third and 2 outs. Miguel Vargas strikes out, but in A.J. Przinsky fabulous moment, ball gets away on McDermott's wild pitch. I believe it gets behind Basayo, who I think was the catcher tonight. Vargas strikes out. Mydroth scores. Vargas to first on the wild pitch. Tauchman then singles to right, moving Vargas to second. Tauchman then goes to second on a balk. Vargas to third. Lenine knocks them in 8-5. They switch pitchers. First pitch. Andrew Benintendi. See the ball, be the ball. Nails a home run. And it barely got out, but it got out. 8-7 Sox. Carroll then hit one to left field that almost got out of the park. Got almost over Kauser's head, but Kauser's able to put it away. 8-7. And then you go to the bottom of the 9th. Nothing really there. Mydroth was able to reach on an infield single. It hit off the second baseman's glove and rolled into the outfield. So you're like, hey, someone's on. And it's lefty-lefty, but it's Teel and Montgomery, the guys who won up. And Teel had a pretty good at-bat. The first, honestly, 4 pitches are exactly what you want to see from a young batter. He even spit on the second one and kind of gave him a blue steel Derek Zoolander face. But then he swings at one of the worst fastballs up and away on a 3-1 pitch. Could have easily been a walk, first and second. He then swings at the next one, fastball blown by him, and then Colson really didn't have that great of an at-bat. He was able to at least get it to a 2-2 count. He was able to foul off a fastball, but still, at the end of the day, a 4-seam fastball, put him away. And it's deflating because that's what they have been having success against, and you have the opportunity, even though it is lefty-lefty, to possibly have them come through, and they didn't. But they had the opportunity, so going from 8-2 to 8-7, we'll take it. What's up, Dreambert? What's up, Ryan? What's up, Melissa? Hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe to the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. Dreambert saying, I'm telling you all now, this losing streak needs to stop. We'll talk about that in a second. We got to tell you about some of our great sponsors here at CHGO. Who's back? Here's the game of football. Check out Bet365. Use code CHGO365 when you sign up. When you do, new customers, when you bet $5, you get $200 in bonus bets, whether that $5 bet wins or loses. Check out our friends Bet365 during football season, whether it's NFL or college football. You're a winner if your team goes up by 17 points with an instant payout on straight bets and parlay selections marked as winner. So download the app and use code CHGO365. You can also check out their great NFL offers. On Thursday night, they have a $10 net safety bet. On Sunday night, they have a $365,000 jackpot of bonus bets. If you bet a first touchdown scorer and they score the last touchdown, you split the pot. Tyler Algiers help people split $365 in bonus bets on Sunday. And then Monday night, 50% Super Boost profit boost token on same game parlays. Must be 21 plus. If you or somebody you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER in-app only. Check out Bet365. Use code CHGO365 when you sign up. We also want to let you know about our friends over at RC Cola. Hey, Jim Cook, if you're watching this, go pick up more RC Zero Sugar. I like their cousin, Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. It's all a part of the Keurig Dr. Pepper family. But I miss my RC. I can't lie. There's been an RC 12-pack Zero Sugar in the fridge, and now that I have been taken away, I am lost. I even had my wife try it out. She came into the office on Friday. We went to a concert, and I was like, hey, you got to try the RC. She tries the RC. Now we got to go buy RC for the house.
Flew through the roof.
It's that damn good. RC is an OG cola in a world of spineless soft drinks. It's the original cola that does not fold under pressure. No trends, no gimmicks, no glow-ups. RC hasn't changed its stripes since 1905 because it didn't need to. Do yourself a favor. Grab some RC at your local store. Jim Cook, help out the office. RC is the move for whatever you're doing. Welcome back to the CHGO White Sox postgame show. My favorite part about that read was Jim was already in the comments. So, Jim, I'm here in the office tomorrow. Better pick up some RC Zero Sugar, buddy. Welcome back to the CHGO White Sox postgame show. Presented to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary with our friends over at Bet365. We have to take the temp with our friends over at Four Seasons Heating, Cooling, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. There's no cooling because that's the air conditioning part. Your trusted local experts are Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. Visit fourseasonsheatingcooling.com. There's my mix-up. For all their special offers and money-saving coupons, that's fourseasonsheatingcooling.com. 866 Four Seasons. Welcome in. We got to take the temperature of our friends down in Birmingham. Melissa kind of spoiled it if you're looking in the chat. The Chattanooga Lookouts defeat the Birmingham Barons 8-6 in Birmingham tonight. Through 5 frames, the Lookouts had no runs, and the Barons were up 6 runs. And I bet they were feeling fat and sassy, all nice, all comfy in their homes. You got 2 RBIs.
Just eating soups and breads and getting all fat and sassy.
Exactly. Antonacci drove in 2, Bergoya drove in 1, Gladney drove in 1, and Sprinkle drove in 1. Our guy Jordan Sprinkle, shout out. And the main reason why we were looking at this was Tanner McDougal, and he was fantastic tonight. I don't have the swinging, missing, and called strike numbers on McDougal, but he threw 49 pitches, 33 of them were strikes, and in 3 innings, he allowed 1 hit, no earned runs, no walks, 5 Ks. fantastic stuff from the White Sox. Top 10 prospect. He's either top 5 for some people, 7 or 8 flipped with Opper for some people, but a top 10 prospect showing out for the White Sox in the Barons postseason. So fantastic to see from McDougal. But as Melissa mentions, a Tyler Schweitzer meltdown in the 6th inning leads to the Sox or Barons losing 2 1/3 innings for Schweitzer, 4 hits, 6 earned runs, 3 walks, and 1 K. And the Bats were just unable to do anything after the 4th. So stinker in game 1. There's still the possibility on Thursday that they win that game, force a game 3 on Friday, but not what you wanted to see from the Barons, but what you wanted to see from our guy Tanner McDougal. So shout out to that. And as Sarah's saying, hit that like button. Do we need to check? What's Ryan saying? The younger players need to work on taking pitchings and drawing more walks. That's fair. Again, I should read that aloud a little bit more. Ryan saying the younger players need to work on taking pitches and drawing more walks. You could just see it in those last 2 at-bats. And even Teel's done a fair job. I think Caro's done a fair job of walking. Mydroth and Montgomery are a little bit too aggressive for my taste, mainly because the whole talk about, people flipping over scouting reports and Colson won't be getting these same mistakes over and over again. I agree and I disagree. What he has been doing is hitting just mistakes. Mistakes happen. Pitchers aren't robots. They're working on it. They can't throw it down the middle or where they want it to every single time. So mistakes will happen. So, not a terrible thing for Colson to just be dominating at. But you're right. He's got to take those pitches to force them into the zones that he wants. And if it means, hey, taking a walk and moving the line, you got to take the walk and move the line. And you could just see that Teel and Montgomery wanted to swing at fastballs. And Aiken just kind of had to swallow that I'm going to throw a fastball, and as long as I put it in the right place, they're going to swing and miss. The fastballs were elevated, and that's the one spot that I've mentioned in Colson's run here is that a lot of the success is low and a little bit away, but, mainly like middle, low. So he hasn't really been challenged at up and away. And you just saw tonight that, again, he knew fastball was coming. He just wasn't able to get up to it. So I agree that they do need to work on drawing more walks. I really want to know what Colson looks like after this offseason. Is there a little bit more of a idea that, hey, I'm playing a 162. This isn't my 60 games to try to win the position or whatever. Colson Montgomery is the starting shortstop for 2026. So I think hopefully then with an off season, he can maybe take more of a plan and an idea to how to attack pitchers. Because I think Teel's average compared to on-base percentage is like near 100 points higher.
Yeah.
So that's fine with me.
Which is what you want.
300 average and a 400 on-base percentage, let's go.
Yeah, regardless of how you feel about batting average, you always want that on-base percentage to be approximately 80 to 100 points higher, or if above that. And I understand the idea of drawing more walks and getting on base and getting more traffic, and I understand all that, but I would maybe rephrase that or reframe it where I just want to see these guys be able to control the zone when they get up there. The walks will come, but I want them to be able to have a good sense of the strike zone so that they can attack the pitches that they want to attack in the zone and not also, you can get out by swinging at balls outside of the zone. You can get yourself out by swinging at balls inside the zone too as well, especially when they're not in the particular place where you attack and you're the most dangerous. So controlling the zone first allows you to be dangerous, and then once you're dangerous, then also it can help with the walks too as well because you know what not to swing at. And just looking at Caro real quickly because this piqued my interest. 2024 against minor league pitching, his walk rate was 9.7%. His walk rate now in Major League Baseball, 8.1%. His strikeout rate in minor league baseball, 17.4%. His strikeout in Major League Baseball, 17.8%. Wow.
So I'll at least take his inability to strike out, but you do want to see a little bit more walks from Caro. It's a 279 average and a 342 on base percentage. Not bad, but if that was 350, just a little bit higher if he's able to squeak out 2 to 3 more walks a week or whatever, that'd be great. And then Chase, he is a guy that's been touted as a guy who can walk. His walk rate's around 9.4% with a 14.3% K rate. His walk rate in Boston, we'll just take that in 2024 in AAA, 18.8% walk rate, 12.7% K rate. That's obviously absurd. He's not going to do that in Major League Baseball. But you see the 293 average in 2024 in AAA, a 270 average. That seems doable, right? Like, that's not too far of a drop off from that level of pitching. So if he's able to just extend at bats a little bit more, if he's able to, I know they want Chase to be aggressive, but if he's able to at least maybe work pitchers a little bit more, that's specifically what I'd want to see from Meidroth, because I think that he could possibly post around an 11% walk rate.
He's definitely a guy that needs that to be a feature in his game, right?
Yeah, yeah.
If he's not going to hit for power,
but I mean, he's around a 100 weighted runs created plus, which for a second baseman, I'll take.
Not bad.
So yeah, I mean, they're in a good spot. The guy that is the true ugliest defender is Colson. I mean, he needs to walk, but I know that he's honestly probably just all jacked up on Mountain Dew, and it's like, I gotta hit homers, and it's like, hey, doing a pretty good job. Hit 18 homers. Why not? I'm not gonna be upset. So Teel hits his 8th. Later on in the game, Benny hits his 20th. So Lenine and Benny are at 20 each. Joe, I thought Sosa was at 21.
Let me double check that.
Okay, I thought you knew. So I'm Sosa's at 20. Okay.
Tight. Coming around the bend here. We got Sosa. We got Benintendi coming around the bend.
Don't think it's Colson. I can pretty.
No, he's running out of time.
Colson.
I mean, like, of all the guys, though, I mean, he is the guy that could put up a multi-home run game. I mean, they all can, but like Colson's probably maybe the most likely to get maybe back into this a little bit. But yeah, I think we had it. I think we had it last week.
Know him,
It's true.
NL versus AL.
We had it last week, I believe, at 21.5. And whoever got over that mark, we felt pretty confident was going to end up being.
And I can't confidently say that Andrew Benintendi, Lenine Sosa, or Colson will hit 2 homers in the next 9 games.
I know.
Or I guess 10 games.
We've got a nail biter on our hands.
And also the other thing, too, Sox lose tonight, pushing their record to 57 and 95. It seems pretty inevitable that they're going to lose 100. With 10 games remaining, they'll need to go 5-5. It's not impossible, but they need to win tomorrow, really, is what happens. They need to secure at least 1 win against the Orioles. If they could somehow squeak out 2 against the Padres, that'd be great. If they're able to get something against the Yankees, that'd be great. And you're really kind of banking on a sweep of the Nationals for them to avoid 100. I just don't see it happening. We'll see. You have to figure it out. But, that's neither here nor there. All right. We will talk about Caleb Bonamer after the break. We will talk about an international signing that David Keller brought up, and if it is possible the White Sox could sign Japanese phenom Munetaka Murakami. I will make sure I work on that during the break as well. And we have more as you could jump in on the chat and join the CHGO White Sox postgame show. Hit that thumbs up button and make sure you're subscribing to the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. We'll talk to you after the break. We got to let you know about our friends over at Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake. They are slashing prices on new cars and giving you big savings all month long. Come in today to shop the model year-end sales event and drive home with employee pricing on every new Chevrolet model. You can get $3,000 to $11,000 off MSRP, or you could check out their selection of over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000. With one of Chicagoland's largest inventories, you're sure to find the perfect vehicle for you at the right price, because with Ray's Price Promise, you know that the price you see is the price you get. No haggles, no add-ons. They're just trying to get you in and out in a car, a new one, a good one, the right one for you. And don't miss out on their model year-end sales event going on all month long with employee pricing on every new Chevrolet model. Shop Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or at raychevrolet.com. They've been serving the community since 1963. Together, let's drive. And we want to let you know about our friends over at Eye on the Ball, a company that was started by CHGO diehards. Shout out to Dave and Chris. But Eye on the Ball is for coaches in the athletic world, young athletes who are looking for coaching. Eye on the Ball is where you need to be. For coaches, it's simple. You create your profile, upload your background check, and boom, you're in. New promo code, too, for coaches. You get 6 months free to start out on Eye on the Ball. Then just for $50 a month or for $500 for a whole year, athletes of all ages and all sports can find you directly. And the best part is, Eye on the Ball doesn't mess with your schedule, your payments, or your business. You're in full control. We just connect you with athletes who are ready, looking for a coach like you. So if you're ready to grow your coaching business and reach more athletes, go check it out right now, eyeontheball.net. That's eyeontheball.net. Don't wait. The athletes are already there looking for you, coach. Welcome back to the CHGO White Sox postgame show presented to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary with our friends over at Bet365. Make sure you sign up with the code CHGO365. Hit that thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. Good to see Randy hanging out with us in the chat. We have some news. The Carolina League most valuable player has been named. Selected in the second round last year's draft, Caleb Bonamer was a steady and impactful in his first professional season. He is the Carolina League's most valuable player. So that is incredible to see. That's not even the White Sox minor league player of the year. All of Carolina League. The 19-year-old? The 19-year-old who was promoted to high A, had 11 games in a high A. We brought up his stat line, Joey. It was like 300, and like he had like a 700 slugging in high A. It was fantastic in the Carolina League, was fantastic for the Cannonballers, led the league with a 400 on base percentage, led the league with a 458 slugging percentage, and led the league with an OPS of 858 across 117 games. Absolutely exciting to see for the Sox. He also had 27 steals, so get excited about Bonamer. Seems like, we bring up Chase Mydroth improving his walk percentage. That's because Caleb Bonamer's coming down the line. And even though, Chase has shown enough to possibly be a starter, Bonamer might be elite. And that could possibly be, obviously a great problem for the White Sox. But, if you are trying to make this team, you need to make those narrow, margins thinner. But that's a conversation for a different story. Chase Mydroth's likely going to be starting the opening day as the White Sox starting second baseman. So let's get into some interesting quotes from our pal, David Keller. This is from Scott Merkin today from The Rate. David Keller, the special assistant to the general manager. I believe he currently leads the international scouting department. We did not have a direct title that said he's the international scouting department director, but he's talking about the international scouting department. So I'd assume that David Keller oversees the international scouting department rather than saying special assistant to the GM. I'll just say David Keller, international. I just said it. Director of International Scouting.
It's a cool way to do it too. If you have 6 words in your title,
it's a part of the damn White Sox.
Yeah. And he's doing good work here, according to these quotes here. Yeah, that had me very intrigued.
David Keller spoke to the media today and talked about the Far East market with the Sox. Quote, part of what I talked about initially was process. We're still in the beginning stages of setting up an infrastructure that allows us to feel good about a process in acquiring those players. More from Keller. I don't believe that stops us from pursuing them. To the extent we pursue them, that will come back to Chris and Josh and everybody in the front office. Keller added, we recently hired a scout in Japan to scout the NPB for us. I was recently in Japan for 10 days and watching those players. And I find this mainly interesting because I think it was the end of the year press conference for Getz. So it was not winter meetings, but like GM meetings in October in Arizona. And he addressed the media for about 7 minutes, I think, about Roki Sasaki. And we know that Roki Sasaki was pretty much a Dodger well before he even hit the market. But the White Sox were very interested in getting out there that they were going to make a presentation to Sasaki, that they wanted to be in on Sasaki. And it seemed like Getz felt like the White Sox in the past haven't been involved in those markets. Now that the Sox have been upping their Dominican scouting game, we've talked about their addition of a Dominican complex, right? Their recent signing of a 12-year-old, 5'7", Braxton Brazier.
Can I get crazy? That swing looks great for a 12-year-old.
He's awesome. He's sick.
That swing.
A lot better than me at 12.
Dude.
He's also my height when I was 12. He just
Dude.
also hopefully grow and not stay at 5'8" and bald by 16. But it seems like there's been an emphasis on guys stepping out the White Sox comfort zone of being in Cuba. And it's exciting to see the Dominican steps. And I don't think that this stuff from Keller's BS. I think where there's smoke, there's fire. I think the White Sox want to be active in the Japanese markets when players do get posted. And one of those players, it might not be a Sasaki level or get that type of hype. Definitely won't be an Ohtani level. But he's a slight notch below. I think that he's, could possibly be a player that nabs a decent amount of headlines this offseason. It is first baseman Munetaka Murakami. Murakami currently plays for the Swallows, the Yakult Swallows. I believe Yakult is not a town, but I believe Yakult is a company, and I believe they make really good yogurt drinks. I could be wrong on that, but I do know a Yakult, and they make lovely yogurt beverages. But Munetaka Murakami will likely be posted this year, and even though he has dealt with an injury this year, he currently has 19 home runs in the NPB. In 44 games, he has 19 home runs. He dealt with an oblique injury that kept him out, even though he missed a good amount of games. Typically, they play around 143, so he missed around 100 games. He is fifth in the NPB in home runs. The leader is at 36. There's 4 other guys at 20. He has 19. And all those other guys have played around 100 games. He has 19 and 44. And this is obviously something that he's done as a 19-year-old in that league with a 9.5-year age difference, 36 homers in 143 games. In 2020, as a 20-year-old with an 8.5-year difference, 28 homers. In 2021, his 21-year-old season, 39 homers in 143 games. In his 22-year-old season, with a 6-year age difference between him and the typical JPCL, in 141 games, he hit 56 home runs. 2023, 31 home runs as a 23-year-old. 2024, 33. And 2025, 19. Absurd. And you look at the OPS, you look at the slugging, that 2022 year where he hits 56 home runs, a 710 slugging. This year, a 667 slug. His 2020 year where he's 20 years old, he had a 307 batting average, a 427 on base percentage, and a 586 slugging percentage. He does have a strikeout issue, from what I understand. 120 plus strikeouts, even 180 in 2024 is an issue in the NPB. But if he has 105 walks and 180 strikeouts, that's honestly like one of the best, most patient hitters the White Sox have seen in a long time. So Murakami, being a 25-year-old that plays both third base and first base, I would assume that the White Sox would just have Munetaka Murakami be a first baseman. I think that they want to be active. I think they'll definitely talk to Murakami. And I think that we'll see them be aggressive, if anybody, or towards anybody, on this guy. The fact that you have Keller throwing this out there, you always kind of have to wonder, like, why? And it is the end of the year, so you're trying to maybe tie up some loose ends if you're the White Sox organization and just let, the media have a little bit of a preview and an advance of what's coming up. But, like, does that mean Murakami's coming up? Does that mean, like, I should prepare for Munetaka Murakami? Like, if we were to say I went and got like a dry iron pressed Munetaka Murakami jersey, is that like, a sin? I'm really excited.
I think there's two things at play here, and I think they're both positive. One, just the fact that the White Sox are publicly and actively talking about wanting to be more involved and put more resources into international players, I think is good for the future of the White Sox. I think, for better or for worse, and I think it was mostly for the better, the signing of Jose Abreu, I think, opened up a lot of doors to bring in some other players, and at the very least, obviously, you know, some of them were acquired via trade, so on and so forth. But I think it at least created a soft landing spot for some players that, let's be honest, didn't speak the English language and were just trying to play the game of baseball that they love. Furthermore, and you have a clip here, so I don't want to tee it up. I want you to, but I'm just going to tease it. Is that when we talk about, especially overseas in Japan and in China, a lot of these guys too as well look at the people that have come over, where they've played, where they've had success, and they want to replicate and copy that. And the White Sox, I don't know, maybe 20-something years ago, were able to achieve that with a couple of players on their team. And I think that it is at least important that even if Murakami isn't good, the fact that the White Sox are showing interest at least lets those players know that this could be a landing spot for them that they could call home here in Chicago. And if it isn't Murakami, maybe it is the next player, the next player, the next player after that. Either way, just the fact that they're doing that is an A for effort, and it's a positive thing for the Sox to do.
Yeah, I mean, A for efforts, it's good to see for Chris Getz. You know, I mean,
A for effort. I'm not saying that they're going to land these guys,
it's
but
not a little too late. But it's also, I mean,
I know, yeah,
they were on ice for about 20 years. It's good to reopen that door for sure. But
correct.
Real quick on Murakami, you may be aware of him from the World Baseball Classic. I'm just ripping this straight off from Wikipedia. After struggling during most of the tournament and going 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts in the semifinal against Murakami, he had a walk-off 2-run double to help Japan prevail in 6-5. And then you may remember him in the final against USA, leading off the bottom of the second with a first pitch home run off of Merrill Kelly, and then Japan would obviously win that game with Shohei Ohtani striking out Mike Trout in a 3-2 win. So Murakami was, you know, a big factor in, you know, games against Mexico and U.S. and you know, some of the better baseball nations in the world. So I'd be over the moon if the youngest Triple Crown winner in Japanese history, Munetaka Murakami, became a White Sox. So Chris Getz, get on it. Come on, let's celebrate. We won't give A plus for effort, Joey, until he signs them. Okay, we'll give a B for right now with room for improvement. However, we know he's going to be posted. 2 years ago, he was on a Japanese talk show talking about being posted, and I found this very funny. We'll talk about one of the reasons why I think Munetaka Murakami can sign or might sign with the White Sox, but here is one reason why I think that Munetaka Murakami will not sign with the White Sox. Also, I will do my best to English dub this for audio listeners, as this is a subtitled video spoken in Japanese. Maybe you could speak Japanese, but I'm assuming that our mostly English-speaking audience will need me to English dub it. So, Joey, video, please. And this is in like a kind of like a if Graham Norton was hosted from like your grandma's basement. But the host asked, "Do you have a favorite Major League ball club?" I want to ask about the majors. A crazy question right off the bat. Just what ball club does he like? Murakami says, "Ball club." Well, I'd like to go to the West Coast. I'm not well versed in the details of Major League ball clubs, so I don't have a particular one in mind. So, like the Angels, someone says, and Murakami agrees, yes. Or like the Dodgers. Someone says, you don't want to go to the Yankees? Murakami says, no, I also want to go to the Yankees. As you can see, people laugh, and hey, that face might be familiar. But that face says, they're very east. The Yankees are very east, and it's very cold. Very east. Sir, you don't have to add the very. And a little fun morning talk show there in Japan. We may be wondering, who the hell is that guy to the left of Murakami?
Who is that guy? He looks super familiar.
A dapper 22-year-old Munetaka Murakami.
He looks like he has a World Series ring.
It does look like he has a World Series ring. That fellow is Shingo Takatsu, legend
Mr.
in the White
Zero.
Sox. And you may have missed this from Christmas Eve of 2019, but from Scott Merkin on MLB.com, when Shingo Takatsu comes up in conversation, 2 words immediately come to mind. Quote, "The gong," said White Sox pitching coach Don Cooper with a broad smile. Munetaka Murakami's manager for the past years is Yakult Swallow, Tokyo Yakult Swallow. I also learned that they're based out of Tokyo. Manager and legend who played for him, Shingo Takatsu.
Frisbee ball himself.
Frisbee ball himself, Mr. Zero. White Sox legend. That's been his manager the whole time.
The first closer
Let's go.
in the trilogy of 2005 closers for the White Sox. He was numero uno.
He was numero uno. Numero uno, but he was also Mr. Zero.
He was Mr. Zero.
So,
0 to 1 to Hermanson to Bobby.
I also don't know if he's been exactly the manager for, I think it's been since 2019, so not every year. Maybe not Munetaka Murakami's. Yeah, Takatsu took over in 2020. So since 2020, that has been Munetaka Murakami's manager, is White Sox legend Shingo Takatsu. But what I wanted to go to was something that I found just interesting, because somebody that is still with the White Sox worked with Shingo Takatsu and is quoted here. It's Brooks Boyer. And one of the things that fans remember from him was his entrance. Here is from Scott Merkin. Boyer approached Takatsu before a game one day about adding the gong to his entrance, along with video they found from his time in Japan, and Takatsu was amenable to the entertaining change. The White Sox did their research, with Boyer pointing out that they even found the difference between a Japanese gong and a Chinese gong. Takatsu said, "Honestly, I wasn't expecting all that. I didn't know how successful I would be coming over to the major leagues in my first year. The team just went out of their way, and, they created all of that kind of the gong in the video. The fans, I wasn't expecting the fans to have that reaction. It did catch me by surprise, but I loved every moment of it." So Takatsu, former White Sox, former Met. So you have to worry about the normal players for Munetaka Murakami, the Dodgers, the Angels, the White Sox, the Yankees, and the Mets, right? Those are the usual suspects. I can slide the White Sox in there. No one's going to bat an eye.
Those are the final leaders on the leaderboard right now.
Something stuck out to me.
Well, no, but there's a time when they were in the mix on that stuff, and they should be now, because Chicago is a melting pot, and there's wonderful culture here all across the board, and it's a great place to live, and it's beautiful most of the time in the year.
Well,
maybe not necessarily West Coast,
but we can come up with the Steve Stone special.
Let's be real. The East Coast gets slammed with awful snowstorms and hurricanes and all that stuff.
Right by O'Hare. We could get him to the West Coast whenever he wants.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate hearing that story, because I would enjoy and be fascinated and appreciate if I were to play in another country and someone took the time to at least look up something that would make me feel a little bit more comfortable, and obviously not do something that would cut a corner to make it feel like it was some kind of cliche. So the fact that they did that, I think, was a cool thing to do.
And that's why we're going to introduce in CHGO White Sox Overtime, the Gong Show. Can you spot the difference between a Chinese gong and a Japanese gong? I did this to Joey before the show, and he got it wrong.
I did get it wrong.
This is me just YouTubing videos of Chinese gong, Japanese gong.
And this is why it takes the work.
So this is my assumption of the differences between a Chinese gong and a Japanese gong. So how about we play gong number 1 and you take your guess? Okay.
All right.
Take your guess. That's gong number 1.
Okay.
Gong number 1. Gong number 2, Joey, play.
Two incredibly different sounds.
Very.
Right?
And different shapes as well.
Right.
One of them was a bowl type shape. One of them was maybe the typical cymbal-like gong that you're probably used to seeing. We have Goop like Soup saying that the first one is a Chinese gong, making, I believe, that the second one would be a Japanese gong. If that is your answer, Goop like Soup, you are absolutely correct.
Good job.
The first gong was a Tibetan gong. The second gong was an antique Japanese Buddhist gong. So that's the Gong Show for you. Goop like Soup. I'll figure out how to send you a gong. All right, maybe we'll try to get Goop like Soup a gong.
Give him an RC Cola.
We'll give him an RC Cola. That's a good end.
Not the zero sugar though, because those are the ones that you want. We're gonna put those aside.
We'll
give him one of the regular ones.
Sugar.
Yeah, the ones that you don't want.
Anyways, Appreciate you hanging out with us in the CHGO White Sox postgame show. Make sure you sign up using code CHGO365 over at Bet365. New customers, when you bet $5, you get $200 in bonus bets. Goop Like Soup is caught up. He says, let's go, or they say, let's go. So if you've enjoyed this podcast, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and make sure you subscribe to the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. In 5 days, we may have a very special show for you.
Could be cool.
I'm going to say.
I mean, it could be cool.
That's all I'm going to say.
I don't know. Just maybe mark your calendar.
I don't know.
It might be fun.
I don't know.
We might have a good time. You should just maybe check it out.
I literally have nothing else to say.
5 or 6 days.
You are keeping us here.
Might be good.
You could hit the end.
CHGO White Sox
and
podcast.
say goodbye.
Check us out in 5 days.
But you should check us out in like 5 days or so. If you wanted to watch us on Sunday the 21st, because the Bears are likely going to
now
lose.
you're leaving us here. That's what's going on.
Tune in on Sunday. You can also tune in tomorrow, but tune in on Sunday too.
We all silly like the mayor.